Then eliminated, they go for Bakery, and they can kill him a second time, of course. There's no safety for him. He can't run away, and there's stuns. There's way too many. What?
Grumble gets thrown out. Grandpa does have the totem in a second here. Can he land it? Bakery's running in circles. Finally, Mopsio jumps in. Drag does come out, and they'll kill the Uther.
I mean, that Stormbolt was an interesting choice there. A little bit of a mistiming, just slightly. But now they have 20. And I would actually love for them to be a bit more aggressive, either around the boss or for a keep. I mean, there's still 3 heroes down, and it's 50 seconds until Uther is back. You need to use that time. There's a tribute you can take. There's 2 bosses on the map. Zealots need to make some plays throughout. They need to make them fast.
Let's check out this fight here. It's around the boss on the top right. They find JPL. Now, JPL and crew do turn around and they go hard on Fala. Decent amount of control so far to keep them alive. The shield's coming out as well. Now, the Anubra Cocoon did stop Poik from actually living because Ancestral Healing didn't pop off, but the focus on Mane was very important.
Yeah, that was super important that the Ancestral doesn't come through, so that the Cocoon was incredibly powerful. The boss, by the way, is about to be taken now by Team Zealots, and that's of course important. Well, we're seeing that at the bottom left, but they have to make a play for the second one as well. So right now, we have 11 kills against 11. The Zealots... The problem is that at the top lane, we not only do have a Siege Giant camp, there's still a fort there. So Dignitas doesn't care about this lane too much. Yep. The boss is powerful, it's going to get a lot of value, but is it really going to threaten the keep to that extent? Unlikely. So instead, we're having the fight now down at the bot lane. And this boss is more important. So it comes down to another team fight, and heroic abilities are all up, but this is still a pretty intense situation here, especially since in those close quarters, good Horrify can ruin your day.
Both teams do have tools, though, to be on the off lane. Dehaka can go back and clear up the catapults that are pushing into the lane. Luckily, with the boss being grabbed, they're slowing down that push on the top side, but eventually it will fall, especially thanks to Zelia. They grab the Mercs in the middle, too, to have them continue to push in. This was mostly grabbed to keep them away from Dignitas, but also to allow them to get some vision. If they see anyone controlling that in the middle lane, that is important. They can make a move for the boss, or at least contest it, and try to force Dignitas into a situation.
Dehaka has the top lane, so that's important. The boss is already down there. Bot lane is being defended as well. So the catapults are not going to push towards the core. 21 minutes in, those catapults actually start hurting. So that's an important one to keep in mind. Over here, already the play for the tribute. Mane with a Horrify, and they're going in immediately. They try to go for Vala, and she is down, so is Grand Paquette. It's a double kill. The resets are kicking in. Cocoon is dropped, and now we have Zealots in complete disarray as Dehaka falls, and everyone else is trying to save themselves somehow. But with a quad kill, Dignitas is taking control of the game again and is starting to push it in.
Zealots are setting themselves up to try and make a comeback, but Mane walks in and says, "No thank you," drops a Horrify on 2 of the biggest members here for Zealots that they needed to kill. The Vala and the Rhaegar. The focus coming in from Snitch was just enough, and Dignitas looking a little bit rough there towards the middle, towards the late game here. Make it work with the big play there from Mane. They'll be able to go straight for the boss and take a 1-0 in the series against Zealots.
Zealots losing the match, losing the map. First solo, Dignitas takes the lead. I think this is, again, and this is one of those hindsight 2020 things, but decision-making on the side of the Zealots as they take the team fight and as they get the 4 kills was just not perfect. Because they take the boss at the top. That boss, why? That boss does nothing for you. That boss has to face off against a fort. It has to go through an entire keep. You're not getting the value there. You have 50 seconds after you take Uther down until he comes back. It's only Nuburak. We have 3 heroes in the middle, so they could have, for example, gone for the mid keep. They're extremely low on mana, but they know they have a time frame in which they can still attack before they then move back. They have to be careful and a cautious decision to say, well, there's too many chase heroes, we're a little bit afraid to be forced into a fight when someone respawns, is understandable. But if you let the keep go and you don't make a play for the keep as 4 heroes are down, then you need to take the bottom boss. That's the boss that can get you a keep, that can actually relieve some of the pressure on the map. And if you then want to go for a double post play, then you can go top. Because if you take the bottom one, then Dignitas has to really think about, okay, do we actually defend or can we contest the boss at the top lane? Yeah. But making it happen the other way around, Dignitas just simply said there's like, you kidding us? That boss is not going to kill anything. Like, we take the Siege Giant camp and we don't even have to have a hero there. And then they can simply contest the bottom. So that quad kill didn't really give the Zealots anything. If they go for the bottom boss instead and push it in with him, they can try and fight on the boss. Dignitas would have to try to circle around them and force a battle outside of this. But yeah, hindsight, again, being 2020, and of course we have full vision on the map, but they could have made more out of this position. But for Dignitas, last fight in particular, great coordination again.
Yeah, definitely a learning game there for the Zealots. You know, at that point, with 2 catapults being down, or 2 of your keeps being down and catapults pushing into your lanes, you're in high risk, high reward mode, and you have to make those big plays.
You know what's funny to me is when they were actually an even footing, they were a little bit behind.
Yeah.
Then they make that play.
Of course.
Then they go for the boss. They go for a fight at the boss where they're like, well, we're talent behind, but still I think we can sneak that in. And it backfires. And when they actually have the advantage, then all of a sudden they're like, it's too risky. So if they just revert that, I think they have a much better standing in the game.
Zealots, a team that makes calls when their backs are against the wall. Well, people that are very happy for the win there with Dignitas are our cheers here for the HGC. The top 5 cheers for Dignitas are in once again, and the leaderboard continues to go up here as the #1 right now at 78,000.
This is the first time that I have seen Gladman not being #1 in any of these. Every single time he has been on the board, he's always taking the top spot. I think this is the first one where I don't see him here. Also, Sigmo is another one that we have to point out here. Big supporter of Fnatic, big supporter of Team Dignitas, so a big Europe fan.
Careful, man. If you challenge Gladman tomorrow, that is going to change.
I'm not challenging him in the slightest. Like, I've looked at these standings. I don't think anybody is going to do that anytime soon.
Well, Zealots here with Tordenheim here with 17,000 at the very top. Snitch actually falling a little bit. Snitch was #1, I believe, last week.
Yeah, and the Mono Bear from everywhere.
There he is.
It's like, I don't know what that name makes me happy for some reason.
I mean, it rhymes. It's perfect, man. Gotta
good.
love rhymes here.
Howdy.
Howdy. Dropping her head. Battleground #2 is up and available in this best of 5 series.
You started it.
Sky Temple is going to be the battleground. It fits you. It's good.
I don't think so.
Every
single time I say it, I picture myself with a cowboy hat, okay? Like, I need cowboy boots, and then I need the hat, and I can go full Texan on you.
I mean, I don't have a problem with that. Tomorrow you can cast in a full get-up if you want. Bring your cowboy hat in there.
You bring the hat, I'll wear it.
Are you going to bring the pants? That's the real question. The belt buckle? You have to have a big belt buckle if you're a cowboy.
You can't see him on camera, so it's fine.
All right, cool. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's get a cowboy hat up in here in the HGC. All right, so going into game #2, it's Sky Temple. Dignitas is a battleground that they perform pretty well on, unless they're facing off against Fnatic, but that is an anomaly.
Yeah, for Zealots, the game has definitely shown a lot of potential for Zealots. I was actually impressed that they came back into it at all. Considering how far behind they were, if you think about them, when Fnatic hit 16, they just had 13. That's a game that that Dignitas should just simply easily bring home. And somehow the Zealots turned it around, were able to put Dignitas in a spot where the game could have ended either way. And that is actually pretty impressive. So the Zealots on map 1 with some very cool and heads-up play bringing it back. But Dignitas just in those crucial moments a little bit too cool, too calculated, too coordinated. And the Zealots have to break through it, but they have shown that they can do it.
That's
so
my favorite
there's
thing
potential
about the Zealots, I think. Besides those last 2 minutes, when it comes to the game, they stop dancing around. They just go all in on ideas of plays. Do we go for a boss here? Do we go for a tribute? And they learn from it. And that's kind of why I think they propelled themselves so quickly, so fast here in the HGC, because they're willing to go for those aggressive plays, and they're willing to do it as a team. So coming in here against Dignitas, I would love to continue seeing that.
And when we talk about decision-making and shot calling, you have to remember that also the teams that are right now so good in Heroes of the Storm, they've started at that point as well. Fnatic, last year, Fnatic had so many problems when they were playing that they just took too many fights. And every single time they saw a fight, they went for it. Even when they were missing out on a talent or something, they always got baited into these battles they shouldn't fight. And it's so difficult in Heroes of the Storm to accept losses sometimes, to say, okay, we just have to take a step back here. We can't actually fight this. We are either fighting a 4 versus 5, we are talent down. Let's just accept that they are going to take the boss away from us, that they are going to get a curse or whatever, and fight later on when we actually have a shot. And Fnatic, it took them months, it took them more than half a year to actually learn that lesson, and gradually they got better with their shot calling and doing this. So with the Zealots, that's something that they can do as well. So yes, they make mistakes in shot calling sometimes, and in hindsight, it's something where you say, could have done this, could have done that. But if you're in the heat of the moment and the adrenaline is pumping, it's quite easy to make one of these mistakes. But if they just continue to improve and work on themselves, I can definitely see them going pretty far, especially when we're looking at a potential next season for HGC.
Keep watching those replays, man. Learning and learning after every game. That's what Quatnix mentioned a long time ago is one of the best ways that he's learned. They would go through their scrims, he would watch a lot of replays and learn a lot. All right. Let's go into it, man. Tassadar picked up for Zealots on the right side. ETC, the pickup for Dignitas. So we get ETC for the first time in this series.
Yep, ETC with Uther. Seen that before. So Mosh Pit together with the Divine Shield, that's something that we're going to see from them again, and the coordination between Bakery and JPL, and that was pretty big. It was, I think, 2 weeks ago when they pulled it off several times, nearly every single game. That was pretty impressive. And Tassadar on the other side, so Zealots already looking again at chat on Tassadar and the double support here for themselves.
They love to run it. The Rhaegar is up and available. That's what they did last time.
I would definitely expect Rhaegar to be taken now.
Yeah.
The question is still, do you go into the Haka again? Since you know ETC is on the other side, so there's of course the Mosh Pit combo, but you could also run again with Stage Dive if you need a global. So Zealots have to really think about, do we pick the Haka? And if not, do we ban him?
Yeah, I mean, that's what it comes down to. It's not going to get down all the way to the 4th and 5th slot. There's no way it's going to happen with I almost said Wubby. Zelia on the opposing team could definitely pick up the Dahaka. So they're picking up the Nubarak and the Dahaka. It's been made.
Rhaegar is therefore still open, and there's a good chance that Dignitas just bans him out here. So Nubarak and the Haka, therefore taking Cocoon away from Team Dignitas as well. And it's Tracer that is banned out once more. So as soon as they see the Tassadar, Dignitas is immediately saying, nope, a poik on Tracer. That's just not happening.
Not giving them a chance. Zealots will now need to drop their ban. Are there any mages that stand out for you that we should be seeing here?
For ban, not really at this point. If you are really just too worried about the Horrify again having such a huge impact, then you can ban out. Then you can ban that out. But overall, I don't think that... The problem is, if you ban out Gul'dan, then Main has so many other mages that he can fall back onto. Targeting him with bans is usually not really quite worth it. Depends a bit on what they want to play. Tracer is banned out, so there's no Tracer play. If they get Tracer, I would have said ban out maybe Varian, since Dignitas has shown an affinity for the hero. But overall, you can just think about even banning out someone like...
Arthas, safe ban?
Arthas, target Zelia, maybe even Malthael, Lunara. And they ban the global instead, ban Falstad.
Stick with the Falstad bans. Zealots don't want to face off against it.
I mean, again, for them it's basically just like the concern, we have a global, we don't want you to have one. Or at least push ETC in a position where if Dignitas wants the global, they have to go into Stage Dive and there's no Mosh Pit problem.
Alright, time for the 3rd and 4th pick here for Dignitas. Options floating around for them. Obviously can move into a mage if they want. Looking for a hero for Snitch. With Genji being down, Greymane usually becomes one of the ones that you think about when you're thinking about what Snitch could play on top of. There is always Arthas too, which both Snitch and Zelia have shown here in the past.
Yeah, but it's mostly a hero for Zelia, but that's definitely one that he could pull off here. Now, they played really aggressive with the Illidan composition in the last game, but now that Genji is also taken out and Nubarak has been taken away from them, some of their aggression is definitely gone. But it's something that they have to consider for their opponent. So they take, Muradin and also Vala. So with Muradin taken, it's more likely that Stage Dive is going to be the tool for ETC, that he's going to mirror Dahaka's movement on top lane for the second Shrine phase. And with Vala now taken, the question remains what Zealots is going to try and use with the double support. Keep in mind that Rhaegar has not been banned out, so it's likely that Rhaegar is going to be picked. And I would say Lunara might be a good choice.
Yeah, Lunara. Cassia, too, has been played by Zealots pretty often. Usually that's with the ETC if they have the control to handle it.
Now we have Uther against the Zealots, so Lunara would be good for that. But keep in mind that with Prog on ETC, he can compensate a bit for the additional heal. And Muradin also has a lot of self-heal that he can use. So having the sustain on your heroes makes it a bit easier for Uther as a solo tank to go up against someone like Lunara.
Cassia will give them a strong landing phase if they want to be able to have a strong early game, try and bully out their opponent. It all comes down to preference. If they want to go into the mid to late game, Lunara is definitely a solid option in that regard. We're about to find out now. I'm assuming it's Rhaegar, and then... Zul'jin!
Alright. Zul'jin. Okay, I didn't see that coming.
I don't think anyone did. Zul'jin does shred tanks.
Yeah.
But he does put himself in danger, especially before he finishes the U1 Axe.
I'm already in a position where I'm just thinking about Zul'jin trying to activate as Dingo and Gul'dan every single time hitting the Horrify before it happens. But Zul'jin is, for trades, Zul'jin is actually absolutely fantastic. And if he goes into Taz Dingo, that's the easiest ancestral of your life. So, or at least you would think so.
Is there a chance that we get guillotine?
There's always a chance. It has been buffed.
Always a chance. Is it above 20%?
I would say no, but then again, Zealots have experimented a little bit, so normally I would say nope, you're just going to try for good trades here, and it makes it, you get a lot of value out of Taz Dingo, and it really prepares for Rhaegar to set the Ancestral in.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I would love to see it, don't get me wrong, it would be fun.
Pretty good against Gul'dan. He has a low health pool whenever he taps into his life there. If you're into a point where you're around a quarter health, you actually get to a point where you can one-shot him, which requires a healer to be on point.
I think it's a safer play to go for Taz Dingo. Overall, I would definitely say against them here, that would be the play. But he trades incredibly well. Even if you lose him, as long as he trades, it's just always worth it. So I'm always happy to see a troll.
Well, we'll see if the axe will pay off here against the rest of Dignitas, as we're going to have the good guys not in this game. The Zealots are, and they're going to show it off here. I'm so ready for the Zul'jin mix-up. Will we get Maze Zul'jin or are we getting auto-attack Zul'jin? Let's find out.
We're not in A just yet. Don't go full NA.
Here we go.
Game number 2, everybody. To the left side, it's Team Dignitas. We have them currently with a 1-0 lead in the series. And it's Bakery on Uther, Zelia on ETC, Mane on Gul'dan, Snitch on Vala, and Muradin, played by JPL.
On the right side, in the red, the Zealots here. Shad playing Tassadar, Poik on the Zul'jin, Mopsio playing a Nubarak, Zarmany playing the Haka, and Grandpa will be playing the Rhaegar. And we have U1Axe at level 1, looking to get those stacks there. After he finishes up the quest, he gets additional range, which is needed for that Zul'jin, especially when you go to the mid-game. You want to be able to have that range to poke down those tanks. Right away, though, Zarmany taking pressure by Dig. Big Nubarak coming in with the burrow charge, but it's not enough as Zealots walk away.
Yeah, and with Poik picking U1Axe as his level 1 talent somewhere in North America, has an empty room with a sad Glorong looking at the computer screen.
To be fair, you can still run the guillotine. It's much harder to pull off.
But it's not Mage Zul'jin.
It's not Mage Zul'jin.
And he's been preaching that
That's
forever.
true.
He was probably really excited when he got picked. It was just like, finally!
Somewhere, Glorong sleeping in bed, and Zul'jin gets picked, and he just has his ding. He wakes up, runs to his computer.
It's like
wearing pajamas with little axes on the little pants.
There's a disturbance in the force.
Oh, Glorong.
Oh, well. I mean, for now, I'm actually pretty excited to see how Zul'jin is going to fare here. He has a lot of potential to burst these tanks down. And Poik has shown exceptional play on so many auto attackers. I can't wait to see how much of an impact he's going to have here. So Zealots is trolling a little bit. And we're having now a big pressure play in the mid lane with 3 heroes starting to focus on the towers here. Shadow alone is not going to be able to deter them for too long. We have Snitch finishing the tower off. It's a bit of an experience boost to Team Dignitas, as of course it's all going to be about that first on that second temple phase. Let's see if one of these teams gets a lead, and actually at this point Snitch is low and he is down. Vala eliminated.
And Zul'jin
coming in and doing work.
That's right, dropping that big slow, breaks in a few more auto attacks. Every auto attack is actually very important because of that U1Axe. Remember, every 5 basic attacks against a particular hero will increase the damage by 1.25, and after 120 times of hitting a hero, that's where you get that extra range by that 1.1, which I believe it takes it from a 4.4 to a 5.5, which is Vala range.
Yeah, and having that extra range, like, he is a beast in these trades. If you have a team that is really designed to work around you, you can do so much here. We have seen in phase, at the end of phase 1 actually, we have seen Zul'jin played a lot with Abathur even, and he's just chunking away. Like, he can be absolutely fantastic, and the auto attack build continues with Let the Killing Begin now on level 4, as we have that big fight over the temple in the middle.
Let the killing begin. Every time you get an auto attack, your attack speed increases, which is important. It's all about those attack speeds and being able to shred your opponents. Mopsio, though, getting shredded here by Snitch. The auto attack's coming out, but Grandpa with the big flank on Rhaegar. Can they get the kill? They're going for the chase, but Grandpa may have overstepped. Does come out. Yeah,
Snitch with a really nice move out of that trap, by the way. That was pretty impressive, that escape. So he's able to move out and always puts the damage out with a stutter step here, which forced eventually Rhaegar back. But overall, the Zealots have actually done pretty well when it comes to the first temple phase. They are still fighting for them. So when it comes to infrastructure, they're doing a very good job here. I'm pretty impressed.
Holding their own, and the temple on the top is showing away there. Going to be burning through the temples and getting that experience. And in fact, the Zealots taking a slight lead, may even take more with the Haka working on that bottom lane against the ETC. Zealots, man, bringing it in.
And the Consume Soul on level 4 for Gul'dan. We have a Holy Fire taken by Uther. But we still see a lot of quest talents on the side of the Zealots, so those are big power spikes that are going to hit later on, with the Psy Infusion, for example, being one of them. Damage increase on the Psionic Storm is just kicking in when you have the double Storm. In particular, you can just like carpet everything with Storms there and just soften opponents up for Suljin to get value. And he himself is already at 11 stacks here right now. Level 7 talent, let the killing begin being chosen. Sorry, the Vicious Assault being chosen, let the killing begin. Level 4 talent, of course, as mentioned earlier. Yeah,
this is one of my favorite pickups when you want to shred tanks, especially against level warriors. Able to drop it on a tank. Oh, it's so good. It takes the initial Q that you initially have on the target, which is 3 hits there, so it takes it all the way up to 6. So if they ever sit in front of you, say an ETC does power slide in and misses out on the engage, you drop down that axe and you just shred their health bar. It feels really nice.
Yeah, Poik at this point also, of course, benefiting from the life leech on level 4 that Tacita gives him here. Mopsio is a bit on a pickle here and he eats the Stormbolt. Another shield comes in, but he is down. Great play by Dignitas, immediately exploiting him moving in. So they were waiting for Nubrak to make his move, and then once he got exposed, they immediately started to drop him here. Great play by Team Dignitas, and now they're starting to push that advantage through the bot lane.
Yeah, that's one of those moments there where Zul'jin can be hurt there. If he gets low on health, he backs up to actually channel and get his health up. That means there's no damage coming out for the team. And Dignitas, aware of this, chases down the Anubrak and they get the pickup, which allows for them to grab in a nice experience lead here, a half a level over their opponent. And Zelia still in the top lane, happily working on level 10.
Now this is of course one of the most important fights for now, because Harmony is going to attempt to get the extra experience lead for the team. That was a really nice drag, getting some extra damage on him. But now the battle at the bot lane, this is an important one. Does Dehaka burrow down and try to get... He does. They need a kill now. They need to make something work with this. They get the drag. They're trying to move for it. Here comes the stun. JPL, is he going to be able to jump out? He tries to, but they don't get the kill. And they get another drag. That might be the opportunity to drop Bakery, because with Dehaka leaving the top lane, it means that Dignitas will definitely get the earlier level 10.
They will get the 10, and they will tap to heal on up. But Zealots did do a massive amount of damage in that fight and got them low, but they need to back up. Stage dive does come in. Zelia missing out. The burrow charge. Mopsio barely getting away from the fight while Zarmony creates space.
Close call there by Mopsio, barely getting out. But yes, with them not getting a kill after the Dehaka burrows, that means that Dignitas is now taking the temple. This is always the one thing that you have to be careful about. Dehaka is at some point going to make his move. But if he misses the drag, or if there's no kill follow-up, then a lot of the potential that Dehaka has with soaking the extra experience on the top lane is gone. And that gave Dignitas the opportunity to take level 10 first, they gain the temple, and now they are a level ahead because of it. They dropped the fort with the help of the temple, but it's now 10 versus 10, and this is where the fun begins. And
Zarmany's coming in for the flank here.
And we have Taz Dingo.
Taz Dingo has been chosen. Zelia gets poked on the side. There is a few shots going over here from the temple. There it is. Connects with the fort in the middle. So only one fort down for Zealots on the bottom right. They hit 10 and they turn around and harass Team Dignitas, but not much going down here now with the temple already being picked up.
Now we're seeing also Suljin just continuing to work on the level 1 talent, and a lot of these quest talents are now reaching halfway point. We have currently 21 stacks for Suljin. The Echo Corruption is at 20 stacks itself. And when we're talking about the Psy Infusion, we have now passed the 500 mark. There comes the Ancestral, saving Taz Dingo for now. They're going for JPL, and he eats a ton of damage, but ETC comes in. Zelia needs to be careful here. They are already trying to go for him as a Nubrak falls, and he is not the only one. Zarmony is also low, but his ult kicks in, and he has his health back, gets the drag. But Muradin is still alive as we see the Zealots retreat with 4 heroes.
A really odd choke for the team to fight there. Nubrak being the only one that's falling a victim there, but you saw both teams trying to control the fight and no one was quite funneling into it. Even ETC coming in, saving the power slide for the moment that he realized he's getting low and was able to power slide out of the fight. And Dignitas walks away with 1 kill and a full level of an experience, but Zealots, they're not done. They are one to be aggressive and force a fight.
Yeah, they are hyper aggressive here, and they actually steal the camp away. They're able to move in for it because ETC was at the top lane and he was still on a cooldown on stage dive. He just used it before that, so Dignitas was very unwilling to commit to a camp fight. And now we're having even boss attack. And Suljin is actually doing a significant amount of damage against Suljin overall. And this is something that Dignitas is not really expecting here. They're a bit late. Stage dive isn't ready. They can steal this. Zealots can take this for sure if they play their cards right.
JPL sitting on top of it. Mopsio draws up a cocoon. They need to murder the Muradin. They do go in, and the Vicious Assault there helping out heavily, but the boss still not grabbed. Dignitas coming in. Zealots here. There's a power slide. Tazdingo will be used, but they control him long enough. With the shield coming out, Tazdingo tries to be enough, but Dignitas controls the fight, gets the boss, and will now start to push the bottom lane.
Unbelievable. Even without the Horrify, ETC came in late, but it's still Dignitas winning the fight, dropping 4 and claiming the boss as well. That was insane.
That it was, and they are rewarded for it too. A 3-level lead over their opponents. Bottom boss pushing in. They grab 2 temples, which kills the 4 at the top lane, and will continue to siege upon the keeps as well, as that will be killed up.
Yeah, that was super impressive, and that of course is now a massive, massive jump for Dignitas. They were a level ahead at the time, even Talons, and now they find themselves in nearly a 3-level lead, and they have taken down a huge amount of infrastructure. So an absolutely pivotal moment here in the game. And I really still like the attempt of Zealots. I like the idea that they're saying, okay, this is the moment we can make a play here. And I mean, they had so many things going for them, but it just wasn't enough.
The good news is, U1 X is completed here, so the extra range is available for Zul'jin, so he won't have to be in such an odd position now. So that is helpful. And he'll have to have Dingo up in about 10 seconds. So if Zealots can get level 13 and try to force a fight, it can be good for them. But Dignitas, already knowing this, backs up the moment they see their opponents getting close.
Yeah, the big question is now really if the Zealots can once again make a comeback happen, because overall Dignitas has taken such a huge lead that they are looking at a massive talent advantage again, comboed off with nearly a 3-level lead. So 16 talents against 13 talents now in favor of Team Dignitas, and that's of course a big, big power spike. Benediction, already a great tool. And you have the Frost Shot for Vala. We're seeing at the same time also Stone Form for Muradin, and that alone gives him so much tankiness that even with Zul'jin being a tank killer and an absolute monster in these fights, it's going to be quite difficult to drop Muradin.
Still, you can see the potential right there. He got a few shots on the JPL. It took him down to half health, even with Bakery bringing in a heal. Poik even wanting to chase here. They're willing to fight. They have Tather on the side here. Daka can come in at any moment. Not really trying to force anything, but if anyone oversteps with that extra range, you're going to see Zul'jin chunk.
Let's not forget that Mena has that Horrify available, because Mopsio is sometimes when he's a bit too far out on an Uberak, Mena is one of these guys that just in a snap moment will make that decision to drop a Horrify, and then the rest of the team follows it up, and that oftentimes gives them the initial kill in these situations. But right now, the 13 talents, we haven't really pointed at them out much, but look at that team fight again while we have a bit of a quiet phase here in this game. It starts off actually really well, but Mena's damage alone is just so absolutely insane. Mopsio is in trouble, and there's the kill. It's just Snitch is not going down.